Good morning, YouTube. It's an explosive morning this morning. It's just, I'm just full of ecstasy and exhilaration this morning because of all of the expanded awareness that is going on around the world today, and all of the marvelous things that are happening with people raising their consciousness around the world. And I'm just feeling all of that, just all the vibration from all that just coming in and filling me with energy. And I just feel the energy of the universe is just touching me in a marvelous way this morning. And I understand how infinite the energy and the love of God and the capacity of infinite mind, and the way infinite mind can just pour out on us all kinds of creative ideas. And this morning is just a marvelous morning. I got out and ran 2 miles early this morning. It was just like 60 degrees, and it's going to stay like that most of the day, just in its 60s. And I just love the 60s. That's my favorite temperature. And it's going to stay in the 60s all day today, and it'll be kind of rainy today. And so, but it just feels nice, just nice to be outside, and all of the flowers and the trees just blooming like crazy, and all the little animals are enjoying themselves, and the birds are singing like everything, and all that just goes with the mood, just goes with all the rest of the exhilaration, all the mind expansion, and all the consciousness raising. And I am just feeling really on top of it all, and I feel so much energy. I know that the energy is coming from all the increased consciousness which I have, and the increased realization of the truth, and all the marvelous things that we have to be thankful for. We have such a marvelous country that we can be thankful for. We have a marvelous world that we live in, where people are beginning to love each other and beginning to the love revolution that Tanya loves talking about is beginning to take place, and people are beginning to respect one another more, and we're just beginning to have higher and higher thoughts, and these thoughts are healing people, and they're raising them up in every kind of way, bringing them out of depression, bringing them out of their joylessness, and causing them to have an increased enjoyment of their life and increased abundance in their life. And as they get together with these affirmations and all, and these consciousness raising meetings, and begin to go over their affirmations, and then their consciousness begins to raise, and the abundance begins to flow in. They begin to manifest what they've been wanting to manifest, and it's just a marvelous thing. All the people I see manifesting such abundance, and YouTube just has such marvelous teaching about abundance and the manifestation, and I just so enjoy, especially this program that I listen to every morning, Tanya Love Show. And she looks like she's really ready to go this morning. Look at that way she's 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 got something marvelous this morning, and I can't wait to hear it. And so and I'm just so full of all the kinds of exhilaration this morning. And it's a nice cloudy day, and so I'm going to have this chocolate because it always lifts my mood up on these cloudy days, and it has such a nice chocolatey flavor, and that it just goes so well with the coffee flavor. You can taste that marvelous organic gold coffee, and then you can taste the chocolate just accentuating it and bringing it out, and the flavor just smells nice and tastes nice, and we don't have to use any caffeine in any of this. I mean, they've come up with a way of putting a natural exhilaration into it, putting a natural energy into it, a natural health-giving factor by the use of herbs. There's an herb called Ganoderma lucidium, which they have found out how to infuse and entrap into the coffees, the beans that they're using it to make this. And so that natural uplift of that Ganoderma lucidium, takes place without any caffeine. And so you don't get the jitters, and you don't have the withdrawal effect when you go to try to stop taking it. And And so it's just, and you don't get those heart palpitations if you drink too much of it. You could drink a gallon of this and you wouldn't get any of that kind of jitters or heart palpitation. It's just a nice taste. And so since I enjoy drinking lots of cups of coffee, well, I'm certainly thankful for that. And so this is just such a marvelous coffee. This coffee mocha comes in these packages like this. It's such a beautiful packaging. They just filled with that chocolate and that coffee, and you just pour it in your cup and add hot water. And of course, I always keep my my thermos of hot water with me, and so it just makes it really easy. And then later I'll have some of this Columbia roast, and it just such a nice roasted flavor. Traps these little K cups trap the flavor into the that little grill cup, that little brew cup, and then you put that little brew cup in your brew cup coffee maker, and then it's all the flavors all entrapped in there, and then it just punches it. And when it punches it, then it just water pours right straight through into your coffee. All the flavor goes into your cup, and then all the flavor just goes right into your own personal cup, and you make one cup at a time that way. And then the flavor doesn't spill out and lose away. Just all goes into your cup. So I just love that. I just love that Columbia roast tremendously. And then later on this morning, I'll have some of this Cafe Supreme. It's just got a nice creamy malty flavor that just makes it you just have almost like a coffee and ice cream flavor. It's just marvelous taste, and it brings out the coffee and makes you feel good. And then in the evenings, I have stuff special. Well, I have this black coffee too for all times during the day when I just want a quick cup of coffee, and it's got nice small packages, just fits in your pocket, and you can pull out any time. And in the evenings to relax, well, you've got this latte that just has a nice, smooth, creamy flavor that just puts you into a relaxing mood. And you just want to put on the smooth jazz and just lay back and just kind of sip along on it. And and like I say, it doesn't keep you awake at night or anything. No jitters or no nervousness or no keeping you awake at night. In fact, it just kind of relaxes you and helps you to get in the mood to go to sleep. So they have just all kinds of marvelous. They've got something for every mood, and and so I really enjoy that because I can just pick out whatever I need for a mood. And a nice cloudy day this morning, I'm gonna have this though, and I'm gonna have this coffee, this chocolate this morning, and so Tanya's all ready to go there, and so I'm gonna see what she has to say before I start my coffee, and then that'll make my coffee taste better. She always lifts me up, no matter how. I mean, you can see I'm always exhilarated and full of energy, but I always get more so when I hear her because she always has some wonderful thing to say that just uplifts the mood even more, raises our consciousness, keeps our consciousness rising. She's always raising her consciousness, and every program she comes out with new things to lift us and raise our consciousness and give us more exhilaration. And so it's just marvelous. It's a good thing to start your day off with every morning. I'm glad I got in the habit of doing that a while back, and since I've been doing that here for the past 5 or 6 months, it's just really lifted me up and put me in a great exhilarated mood all the time. And so I'm gonna get her started here and let her find out what she's got to say this morning. And I know it's going to be marvelous, and I know it's going to lift me up and make me feel good. So let's find out what's going on with her this morning. I know she's going to be talking about the love revolution this morning, so we know that's going to be good. Okay, Tanya.
So today, this past week, I was observing a lot as a healer.
She's always observing.
At a Sacred Soul Sister gathering last night, and last week we had Empowering Empath and these different workshops I do, where when I'm working with my healing clients over the last few weeks, I see this theme that I felt like this is something I really want to touch on is love. And what does that even really mean? And I'm calling this love revolution. And if we could all get into the space of alignment in ourselves where we stop putting off our own need to love ourselves for any other reason. We don't let our work be more important. We don't let our partners be more important. We don't allow our children to be more important. We don't allow, what people think of us to be more important. And we start to really get to this place where we decide we're going to love ourselves no matter what.
That's right.
And so that's in every part of our life that's going to be important. And last night when I was working with these women in the circle, they were young girls, and we got into this really great discussion about body image and about like what causes their suffering and why they think they're not enough. And they were, you know, kind of sharing with me just the way society is, what they see on TV when they look at beauty magazines. Like, they basically feel like crap after they look at a beauty magazine long enough. And we started to discuss that, like how if we take our own power back and we love ourselves, we don't really need to compete with anyone else. And I observe how, you know, I had a woman recently, and she's like, I really want to come to your gathering, Tanya, and I miss coming, and I miss some of the girls that came before. But I just feel like when we have these like shamanic experiences, they're having these amazing experiences where they're flying around on a dragonfly's back, and it's very magical, and then she has nothing happening. And so she's like, I just feel like, you know, I'm not good at it. And so then she stopped coming. And so I responded to her and I said, you know, if you keep showing up and you stop comparing to others, you'll get out of your own way. So if we come, like when I was talking to the girls last night, they were saying about, you know, their body image. If there's a girl that's really beautiful and they're getting a lot of attention, then in their own brain, they start thinking, oh, I suck, I'm not pretty, no one loves me. And they get that record playing that vibrationally is actually causing them great suffering. And overall, it's not helping them love themselves, and it's not helping them even love the people they're around. And this is where I feel like I kind of called it the wounded girl and then the empowered woman. And there's a big difference. And this goes for men too. Wounded boy, empowered man. And when we're wounded girl or wounded boy, we're competing, we're comparing, we're feeling like we're not enough. We're always looking at what they have and then degrading ourselves. And we play a lot of games. We manipulate, we gossip, we're vengeful, we're jealous. All of those heavy suffering energies are what happens when we're in that wounded girl or wounded boy energy, which in essence is our wounded aspects of ourself, what I call the wounded ego or the shadow self. And it's choosing our choices for us. So here's a woman, she wants to come and she wants to develop her psychic gifts. She wants to empower herself, but she shuts herself down because she's not doing it good enough. She's not doing it as good as they're doing it. So then she just drops it all together, which is probably not going to help her develop that strength. It's kind of like, as a personal trainer, I also do the fitness thing, and being a trainer and an instructor for years, I've observed the same thing. People come in, like I've had like guys come to my yoga and they're like, oh, I'm not flexible at all. I suck at this. And I'm like, you know what? You're in the perfect place then. Because if you suck at yoga and you suck at being flexible, what better place to be? Because the whole point of coming to yoga and the whole purpose is to cultivate flexibility. It's to cultivate more self-love. So if your ego's saying you suck, probably a great idea that you're here learning how to love yourself. But we have to see that our egos make our choices sometimes, and then they say, oh, I suck at that, let's go. And now there's no chance that you're going to cultivate flexibility. There's no chance you're going to cultivate that self-love because you just walked away from the very experience that could help you with that. So when we're in that place where we're comparing to others and even comparing to ourselves, we could have been awesome at something, or, you know, we look back in the past, like when I was 20, man, I was awesome, but now I suck. And so we're comparing to ourselves, and we have this fantasy of the old self, and we'll create suffering there. Or a lot of younger people I observe, they worry and stress too much about the future, and so they're constantly in anxiety about their future experience, and that takes away from their being able to enjoy the now, the present moment. So we were talking about this self-love experience, and this was the theme. And I'm like, you know, I feel like so much in my life has helped me to really understand this so that I can be a leader and express this truth to everyone, not because of theory or because it just sounds good, but from actual experience and from actual meditation and processing and self-love and clearing myself and coming into that place where I understand that no matter what happens, And the world can be mean, and there can be people who can show up in your movie to test the shit out of you. But if you can respond with love, you are going to